Hey there, hey there.
Oh, hey, that's right. I was going to open it.
You were?
Oh, well,
yeah.
but I forgot. I'm just not used to opening. Hey, everyone. What the Flick? Brooke Meredith, Handmaid's Tale, Season 2, Episode 8,
Yes.
Women's Work.
Definitely. I mean, and it's hard to say, but I really think this has been my favorite episode so far, both seasons.
I have to agree.
Really?
There's so much to unpack. So let's just start at the top.
Okay.
We get
Serena and Offred are kind of back on.
Yes.
That's kind of how it starts out. They have like this on and off relationship. They're back on, and Serena does something nice for Offred.
She does. She leaves her the
music box.
music box is back.
And Fred is back.
Oh, yay, Fred.
He's still a total idiot.
That's not the word I would use.
Okay.
I never liked Fred, but I at least had sympathy for Fred. After this week, no, Fred, I just want to see Serena murder Fred. Just murder Fred. It'd be great, yeah.
Big plot, or big kind of story issue this episode is baby Angela, baby Charlotte, depends on who you're talking to, what name you're gonna get. Janine's baby is sick.
And no one knows why. Nobody can figure it out why.
Right. We don't find out really why.
We still don't find out why.
I think we figured out why.
Yeah.
But of course she's sick because her mother is the worst mother ever. Her father is a rapist and just is terrible all around human. They don't want this baby. They just want a baby.
And there's already so much resentment from the mother for this baby because of what Janine did, that there's obviously very little affection. There's no affection, there's no love. And I actually thought the episode was gonna go darker than it revealed because of the father's history with Janine. And I'm glad they didn't go that far, if you get my meaning. I thought,
for sure. Janine kind of pointed it out when they were in the grocery store together on the daily Handmaid's trip to the grocery store. She was saying how blessed she is to be in a home where it's just the ceremony, no oral sex.
Exactly.
And I hadn't even thought about how, but you think about that is sort of kind of what Offred is having to deal with, going to Jezebel's and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot that was going on there. Though Fred seemed to pull that back, with when Serena had her come to Jesus moment with him. But yeah, so we see now also that babies, despite being the central component of Gilead, don't really get the treatment that they need, because here we are, the best neonatal surgeon in the world is a woman.
It's a woman, and I think so. Okay, this is this bit that I want to say. I'll say in a second, but right, it's a woman, and the conversation that Serena has with Fred, she tries to kind of play him a little bit, and tell him, try to make it his decision to bring this woman in, and he says no, and not only no, but he says that our men are capable. Serena basically says no, they're not, and then he says, well, it's God's will. So basically, the baby can die. We're not going to do everything that we can, because it's not about children. And this whole idea is it's about children. No, it's about power and control.
It's about the patriarchy.
And that's exactly what it's about. But so Serena, through some trickery, brings this woman in, and we find out, the Handmaid's Tale, maybe it's not so post-racial.
Yeah.
The best neonatal surgeon in the land is a Black woman.
Yep.
And she's been serving as a Martha.
Yeah.
And she gets this one-day pass to come and examine this baby. Favorite part about the interactions with her is the male doctor is enamored. He is starstruck.
Yeah, he's like, I'm so excited to finally, do you remember? Do you remember when we met? You won't remember me. Right.
You taught my mentor.
Exactly.
He knows he's not as smart as her. He's not as good as her. And he is excited to be able to watch her work.
Yeah.
And she can't do anything for the baby. She couldn't figure out what was wrong with the baby. And then she leaves, and you see her dressed in her Martha gear again, get back at home, and Fred realizes that not only did Serena do this behind his back, but she had been doing a lot of stuff behind his back. And I guess they had a conversation where he wanted her to take care of things.
But it was different when he was incapacitated. It was still his will. He didn't realize the scope of what Serena had been doing outside of what he told her to do.
Yes. He didn't want her to be his voice.
Yeah.
He wanted her to just be his carrier. And he whipped her as punishment in front of Offred. And I thought that Offred, and even myself, I thought that I was gonna have more of joy seeing Serena punished.
No,
but no, it was horrifying.
Because we get to this point with Serena, I think, last week I talked about I have no sympathy. This episode changed my entire opinion of Serena from the entire series. Now, full disclosure, I was raised agnostic. I have no religious background at all. And I think I'm starting to understand where Serena plays into this is that, people say, and we've talked about how Serena brought this upon herself. She wanted this world and she deserves what she gets. And I'm starting to see now how for people who are brought up in a very traditionalist religious household where women are second place to men, Serena thinks she's doing what is right within the confines of how she was raised. And now that she's kind of had a taste of what it's actually like in the world before Gilead, I don't think she didn't realize how good she had it. She had no idea. And now that she's finally being put in her place by a man, I have so much sympathy for her because she didn't know. She didn't expect this. She didn't know this was coming. And she doesn't deserve this at all.
She is miserable. She has been miserable, but now she is kind of allowing herself to acknowledge that she's miserable. And even the comment that I hate knitting.
Yeah, I hate knitting. And so to see Fred, oh, I'm doing this for your own good. And to see her submit to it, because there's still that break. There's still that moment where she's like, I have to do this because this is what God wants. But then we see afterwards that the wheels are turning. And she's like, maybe this idea of what this God wants isn't what's right. And I'm sad that we didn't have a moment with Serena and June where June busted in there and gave her a hug. I really wanted that moment afterwards.
That moment was there.
It was
with the door in between them.
It was very Anna and Elsa in the beginning of Frozen. To see, I like that scene. I like how it played out, and I think we're going to see a new Serena Joy going forward.
You think so?
I hope so.
I mean, I hope so, because it can't get any worse. But back to the hospital, Janine comes in, and this is all kind of at Offred's doing. She kind of pushes this, that Janine have the opportunity to see her sick baby.
Yeah.
And then that Janine have the opportunity to kiss and say goodbye to her sick baby, who everyone has decided is going to die.
Yeah.
And I thought that was going to be a harder sell than it was. But Serena kind of helped as well.
Yeah,
and they got Janine in there.
Yeah.
And she got to hug her baby. And there was a moment where everyone else is wearing, gloves and their mask. And Janine wants to hold her baby and humanize her baby. She takes her gloves off. She pulls her mask down. She touches her baby. She kisses her baby. She lets her baby feel like actual human touch. And, the end of the episode, it was so powerful for me that they wake up and seemingly the baby is happy and healthy and she is in Janine's arms and they're playing by the window. And that moment I realized, I think they're all realizing the baby wasn't sick. The baby, they need their moms.
I know. That's I wonder if that's going to drive home at all. But that's the whole thing is it's without love, without some sort of connection, the babies won't thrive.
Yeah. And the baby's just as miserable as the two people she's living with.
And I think, it's going to be really important going forward that Serena Joy recognizes that, because it means she won't be kicking Offred out anytime soon. But I also wonder, what does that mean for the future of Gilead if at some point they have to recognize the handmaids are more than just a vessel? I doubt the men will see that, though.
Yeah.
I doubt it.
I think not only the handmaids, they are being treated as a vessel, but the women aren't really okay with this.
No.
And they're jealous of these women.
Yeah.
And then they hate these babies.
Yeah.
Because this baby is living in a miserable, awful household and has these 5 seconds of happiness with Janine.
And thrives immediately. Yeah, I know. It's and it's interesting, though. We do see this is, again, how the patriarchy continues to split the women of Gilead is by giving them these different subsets where they have to live within that world. That's what we saw, go back to living in your world, Serena Joy. And having Offred there watch only is trying to divide them even further. And the handmaids in the jealousy with the wives. Yeah. At some point, if we see wives and handmaids and Marthas all come together, even the aunts, I think Aunt Lydia, let's give it to Aunt Dowd this week. Aunt Lydia had an amazing moment where her and Offred were actually working in tandem on something. And I think as the women start to grow and realize, it's going to spell the end.
Yeah, it's fascinating how it kind of goes. There's a back and forth between punishing and keeping this rule over the handmaids, and then also having moments of being soft to them, even allowing Janine to come in there so that Offred and Serena could fight for her to see the baby. Lydia didn't have to do that. Serena didn't have to do that. Offred didn't have to do that. But they did that. And it's not just that the babies need their biological moms. The babies need love.
Yeah, exactly.
They need someone who wants to be their mom.
And that,
someone who wants to be their parent.
Yeah, it's very obvious that Angela's mother did not want to be her mother.
Right.
So.
And the fathers, they don't have anything to do with anything that can be remotely seen as female.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, everything is so misogynistic. And so, of course, they're not going to parent.
No,
because
and especially it's a little girl, so. Yeah, I know. It's
so good.
2 episodes left. I know. I don't know where we can go into.
2?
Yeah.
I thought there were 13
Oh, is
total.
there?
I think so.
Oh, God. Oh, I'm so excited.
We're just past the halfway point.
Oh, I thought there were only 10. Even better. Good. Okay, good. Because I Wednesdays are it's a long way away. And I jones for this show.
It's a good show.
Yeah, it's great.
I just told her the trick of being able to watch it Tuesday nights.
I know,
in LA.
right? Yes. But now I'll watch it twice. I'll watch it Tuesday night and then I'll watch it again on Wednesday. All right. Well, cool. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. And we will be back next week.